Life as we know it is precious. We say it all the time. And this episode is dedicated to Gia, a 13-year-old softball player from Bucks County who represents the true meaning of heart and resilience. Playing in the LSA League, Gia recently took the field for her final 14U game before undergoing brain surgery for a rare disease, something she knew she already had. Despite the challenges ahead, her love for the game never wavered. She even showed up to one last practice, smiling as always the day before the surgery. This is what Fighting for Overtime is all about, celebrating the spirit of young athletes who show us how powerful courage can be. Join us in sending strength and support to Gia and her family, and follow her on her journey. And continue to follow, as this is only part one, as part two will give the update of where hashtag Gia Strong, hashtag Good Luck Gia is coming through. Coach Tony right here, Fighting for Overtime podcast. I'm obviously, this isn't a scheduled episode. We had a great episode the other night that it was on pre-record that I will be slicing up later with Jennifer Licate, who's got some amazing books out right now. And she talked about anxiety, and it talked about how it intersects with kids and youth sports, right? So I think that's obviously one of the things that, we always want to talk about. And I'll be honest with you, man. I got a very interesting, very, very interesting message the other day, and I have to read it to everybody. I got an email, and when I get an email from specific people and asking me if I can talk about something or talk about a topic, that's what I do. And tonight is going to be a time where the drama stops. Tonight's going to be a time where we all say, you know what? Softball's not that serious. I'm going to take that from the actual quote that I saw. As I'm doing this right now, I am going to do a couple things because I'm like the only producer here, okay, on the Fighting for Overtime show. So let me get this going here for everybody. All right. So give me 1 second. And if you're live checking in, make sure you check in live. Say hi, say hello, because it's going to be a special shout out tonight for a local kid who needs our prayers, man. Like for real. I've seen this, and I've done this a lot of times, and this is one of the reasons why I started this community. This is one of the reasons why I started this podcast. So I received a email the other day, and it is what it is. Whoever it's from, I'm going to read it to you. Okay. I'm going to read it to you because it's again, it's extremely important that I read it. Okay. And I'm going to bring a picture up here. Let me see if I can bring it up. Again, like I said, we're doing this live right here. And it's going to take a little time for me to get it. Okay, so let me see if I can. Oh man, like these things, they go up on the screen. You know what? It's not working. It's okay. I'll bring it up on the I'll bring it up on the other page. It's not a problem. But listen, first thing to do, this is all about. We're gonna start the hashtag called Good Luck Gia. Okay, we're gonna call it Good Luck Gia. So if you follow, and I tagged every single one of them, if you follow the Bucks County girls softball league page on Facebook, you will see this story. Okay, this story was sent to me, and this is a time when we got a lot of shit going on, right, in our everyday lives that we can back up and say, you know what, this is reality. This is for real. This is the kind of shit that happens. Instead of bickering between one another, instead of battling against an umpire, instead of any of that, this is when it gets real. Okay. This is when it gets real. So this is a local kid that, again, that needs our assistance and assistance in prayer. Okay. And assistance in thoughts. Okay. I'm going to read the email that was sent to me, and I'm going to read you what was there. So it says, this week I was notified of a young 13-year-old girl from Bucks County softball who plays in the ISA League and needs brain surgery for a rare disease. She played and pitched in her last game 4 days ago at 14U last Saturday at the Russell Elliott Fields. She held off surgery as long as she could, so she could just play as much softball as she could. Think about it. That right there to me. Wow, like just blows me away. The resilience of this 14-year-old, 13-year-old girl. It's crazy. Her season is now over, obviously, because she has a long recovery ahead of her after surgery. She showed up even at their practice last night for one more time, even though she knew she couldn't play anymore. I thought she was so tough and inspiring. If you talk to this kid, you would never even know she has anything wrong with her. Always smiling and laughing. People, think about that statement. Always smile. Maybe we all need to learn from Gia here, okay? And again, it says Saturday when I heard it was her last game, and they had last game at obviously at the fields. I texted my assistant coaches, and we quickly donated some money and ran and got her a car with some gift cards to help her recover in any way. Put a smile on her face. For a great thing to do, right? She couldn't believe another team or coaches would care about her. So I just want to touch before I continue on that statement. She couldn't believe another team or coaches would care about her. That's pretty powerful. That's the world we live in, right? Here's a 13-year girl thinking it's so competitive and we all want to slit each other's throats in softball and soccer, right? That nobody would even think about me because I play for another team. Just think about that, right? That's pretty powerful to me. It says, we have more plans to help this girl, which I will keep everybody abreast and family. Shirts being made to sell to support her. So make sure you follow here. I'll make sure I get that information. So I spoke to her mom on the phone one day. She is getting brain surgery tomorrow, this Friday, October 3rd. Asked if I had one request, if I could please give her a shout out and ask for prayers for Gia from Bucks County Girls Softball. One of the nicest and toughest kids I met. It just proves winning and losing is not what matters. And most kids just want to play sports with their friends, and it can take away from some of the problems they were dealing with at home. Softball does not have to be that serious. Good luck, Gia. Man, let me tell you, if that doesn't grab you, I don't know what does. So this is what I'm asking, okay? This is what I'm asking. It's very, very simple. And please listen. I know whether you are watching this live. I know whether you are creeping in the background, okay, because you don't want to be seen. Okay. All I'm asking for, okay, is listen, thank you. My Aunt Gail checking in, right? Prayers up, right? All I want to say, you see all these personalities out there that say, oh, I'm gonna hop on my Twitter account, say, Go Birds, say it back. Go Birds, say it back. How about we change that right now? Okay. That like I just want everybody to say good luck, Gia. Hashtag good luck, Gia. Okay, because the softball, all the organizations are tagged. They're all going to see it, and maybe if she can get to a bunch of comments and seeing people just saying good luck, Gia. You think about it. She didn't think another team would care. So think about if she has a bunch of people she doesn't even know within the community that are pulling for this kid. I mean, these are the stories, the reason why I love it. Okay, this is the reason why I love what I'm able to do. This is why I'm an open book. This is why I enjoy people that reach out because there's a lot of stuff going on that we don't even know about. These kids nowadays, they are so entrenched in this world of youth sports that, man, it can change in a matter of seconds, right? It can change in a matter of seconds. I mean, when you talk about brain surgery, man, it's no joke. Okay, it's no joke. This girl put it all out on the line as long as she could because she knows. See, here's the deep reality is she knows that in a snap of a finger, she's not going to be back to her normal self. It's going to take time. And listen, it sounds like she's resilient and she's a fighter and she's going to do that, obviously, right? But good for her for realizing that, you know what? I got to do everything I can do right now. So this is the stuff that makes what we do, whether you're a podcaster, whether you're a radio host, whether you're a personality, what makes everything so powerful. You have the power, right? You do. You have the power. Okay. So if you see on the ticker on the bottom of the screen, okay, it says hashtag good luck Gia. Say it back. You can visit the Bucks County Facebook page, which is the Bucks County Baseball Facebook page. Okay. For again, it's Bucks County girls softball, right? That's what it is. Let me make sure I get it right because I don't want to mess this up, man. Because the link is right, so you can go there. So you will definitely you would definitely get it. But yeah, this is Bucks County girls softball. So let me put that in. It's Bucks County girls softball. So let me redo that as we're live right here. Because again, I want to make sure because listen, it doesn't always have to be live. People watch this on replay, right? Bucks County girls softball Facebook page, right? And it's right there. So you could go to that link and they're tagged. Listen, if you're watching this on Facebook, that organization is tagged, okay, in the comments. So it'll be very, very easy. Again, yes, Aunt Gail, good. Yeah, prayers up, right? Prayers up for Jay. And again, this is a local kid, man. Like we all like I can't like it gets me upset and emotional because you know, we've all seen things like this before, right? We've all seen things like this before. We live in a community where everybody's so worried about the next step. Everybody's so worried about the next team. And how am I going to make this? How am I going to do that? I got to get the train. I got to get here. Guess what, man? It's really not that deep. It's about memories and moments. It's about smiles. It's about having a goddamn good time, man. And guess what? Guess what? She continued to have a good time. And she's still gonna have a good time. I guarantee you, okay. I don't even know Gia, okay, but here's what I want to do. Okay. Because again, I've been doing this for a long time. I do this a lot. And this is local to our community. Okay. This is the Fighting for Overtime podcast. This is why we do this. You can scan the QR code right there just to go to the podcast to hear the episodes because we are a community. We have a ton of listeners. We have a big audience that comes in and sends me anonymous emails, that sends me different stories that they want to highlight, good and bad. It's a freaking roller coaster, man. Like it's a friggin' roller coaster. I get it. I understand. Okay, I understand. So what I want to do is I want to continue. I want to follow this journey. Okay, I want us all to follow this journey. Okay, because I think honestly, it's what happens way too much. I give you a perfect scenario of another great story. So, if Gia listens to this, I can tell her honestly, this was I will say 3 years ago. 3 years ago, it gets me emotional even talking about it, but 3 years ago, one of the oh man, you're gonna get me all choked up. Um, whew, 3 years ago, one of the kids, a good buddy of mine that I've worked with, friends over the years. Oh look, thank you, yeah, Gina. 100%. Listen, this is Gina. I know if I don't know last name, so if you're commenting right now, I don't know if this is family, relative, mom, sister. I'm not sure if or this is just friend, but I will say this came specifically the email came from LSSA to give me a notification about this. And I just want to make sure, they want to make sure, he want to make sure it was out there. So I want to do whatever I can to make sure this is out to our community. Okay. Because we have a really big, very close friends. Cool. That's it. That's all we got to say, Gina. I appreciate it. Okay. So I just want her to understand that, we dealt with a situation like this in our community. And listen, it's a success story, okay? And it is, man, I keep getting choked up, bro. Like I'm bad. Like I'm bad. I get very emotional when I talk about this kind of stuff, but um Nate Gonzalez, I'm gonna shout him out. Okay. He goes to William Tennant High School, and 2 years ago, It might have been 3 years ago. I think it might have been 2 or 3 years ago, got diagnosed with brain cancer out of the blue. And he came up with purple shirts and he had to drop out of school, went through a lot, man. I talked to his dad. I talked to his he went through a lot, man. Nate Strong, right? If anybody knows, it was a hashtag Nate Strong, purple shirts. We have wristbands. At that time was my last year coaching or maybe for indoor soccer. And, I made sure everybody on the team had shirts. We all supported the effort. We all wore them and took pictures. And the premise was not just because we wanted to support the cause, but we wanted to show Nate that like we were playing for him. Like we knew he couldn't play, right? So and the kid's a football player, okay? And he couldn't play. I know how devastating that is. No matter what sport, when you play a sport, it's devastating when you can't play it anymore. Whether it be something like this, whether it be just maybe a broken bone, it doesn't matter. Any way you can't play is devastating. Okay. So Nate went through tons of treatments, surgeries, and guess what, Gia? Guess what? He's back on the football team this year playing. Okay. Back on the football team this year playing. So if he can do it, God damn it, so can you. Okay. So setbacks, they happen, right? But I think the biggest thing about this is everybody who listens to this, and I want to be 100% candid here. I know there was a lot going on in the community with the game of softball. And we're going to continue that conversation another day, but that's not tonight. Okay. But I want everybody to realize I want everybody to take a step back from that for a minute and just think like that email. It's really not that serious. It's really not that deep. Okay. It's really not that deep. So again, like I said, I have thousands and thousands of people that I see all the time. Hashtag go bird, say it back. Hashtag go bird, say it back. But this is what I want people to say, man. Like, honestly, we're going to do hashtag good luck G is say it back. Okay. So if you can hashtag go birds, say it back, screw football right now. Screw the birds. It's hashtag good luck Gia. Okay. That's what it's all about because she's going to go in for a fight tomorrow and she's going to come out on top. Obviously, you could tell. I don't even know the girl. Okay. But I've seen the picture of her bright, big smile. Okay. The coach even said how resilient she was. Didn't even know. And she put on a battle all the way to the very freaking end. So hats off, man. Hats off. So again, you see it go across the bottom of the screen. The biggest thing you can do, okay, is go follow that Facebook page. Okay, so you can follow the journey because we are going to follow the journey. And I am telling you this right now, man. Like I will make sure it is my word that we get updates on Gia, that we support Gia as much as we can. Okay. And when Gia finally, right, when she recovers, I want to get a side by side on this show with G to talk about her conquering this journey because that's what it's all going to be about. Okay. That's what it's all going to be about. Listen, any kind of sickness doesn't discriminate, man. Doesn't matter. We all know that. Okay. We all know that. I mean, when I first started, you know what? Hey, Gia, I'm gonna give you another success story. Okay. And these are all local, right? These are all local. And yeah, you know what? I'm gonna say it because I think she would be okay with me saying it. When I first moved up into the Southampton area and I started coaching soccer, I was made aware of a local kid who was fighting cancer. And at that time, I think he was 8 or 9 years old. And I'm going to be honest with you, man. Like I was blown away. Like I couldn't believe it. Like, I've lived a pretty good life up to this time and knock on wood, it continues to be that way. And I unfortunately though around me, I've seen a lot of different things happen. but not like that. Not like it's not. I'm sorry, but kids aren't supposed to get sick, bro. I'm gonna be honest with you. Like it's a really tough thing to understand. If you're a person of faith, it's a really tough thing to understand, man. I'm gonna be honest with you, okay? So don't mind me. I'm still wiping away my eyes water because I'm an emotional person. But when this happened, you know, we had shirts every year, chugging for Sean, chugging for Sean, chugging for Sean. And again, this kid, okay, he fought. He fought and gee, he beat it. Right? He beat it. And guess what? He was playing soccer again. Right? Right. He just graduated from high school, right? On to his next career, living a normal life. Another shout out. Another shout out to my man Nick Crisco with his son. Again with his son Dylan, who fought the same thing. Huge fighter, man. Followed his journey for 4 or 5 years. And now, guess what? He's living, man. He's living. Sure, it's friggin' work, but guess what? Everything's work. Everything is work. I mean, look, I got like 20 pounds to lose, but that's the lead. Like that's work. Everything's work, right? No matter if you're sick, you're not sick, it's all work. But the thing is, obviously, Gia has a huge support system. Gina checking in saying she's a fighter. Her and her sisters all are, which means obviously, she's got a huge supporting cast. Okay, so I say this again. I'm going to continue to say it tonight. No matter what you're doing, there we go, my man checking in. Right? Hashtag good luck, Gia. Right? Say it back. That's what this is all about. Okay, that's what it's all about. Like I said, everybody can always check in with Go Birds. Say it back. Well, all those people that say it back to Go Birds, let's good luck, Gia. Let's say it back. Because I just continue to go. Like this show, it's not a telethon. We're not going to go for hours and hours, but this is going to be up, right? This will be up on my page. This will be up on YouTube. At any time, man, you check in and you go in and you write the comment, good luck, Gia. That's what it's all about, right? That's what it's all about. And again, I thank Stitch for sending me this email. Okay, and like I said, and just in case he just tuned, but he knows the way I feel about all the nonsense, right? And we'll get into that another day. This is a time where everybody comes together, man. Simple, right? Simple. Whether you live in the suburbs, whether you live in a city, doesn't matter, right? If you are I'm not even going to say softball, man. It's a sports community. The youth sports community. The youth sports community is friggin' powerful. It is. It's friggin' powerful. Okay. And sometimes, yes, you got to come off your high horse a little bit. Okay. You got to come back down to reality and understand that sports ain't that friggin' important anymore. Life is important. Continuing to live is important. And in this situation, recovery is going to be important, right? Look at my man Vegas checking in. Thank you, Vegas. Good luck to you. Like, see, this is what I say, man. Like, we have, I've tried to build a community for the reason of the right way, okay? For doing things the right way, for giving people an opportunity to tell stories and to talk. I'm not Action News, right? I get it. Not Action News, but I will tell you that these podcasts and these stories are pretty powerful and they're reaching an insanely wide audience. Insanely wide. Jennifer Licazze was my guest this week, and she's a great author, tons of books when it comes to use between 9 and 14. The reason why I had her on is she talked about the anxiety in kids. My anxiety is messing with me. Okay. And we talked about how the anxiety of kids in youth sports is just out of control, not just with them, but the parents as well. Well, guess what? This is the time where you take a break from the anxiety of sports because the anxiety, okay, and all that is needed in a different way. Okay. It's needed for thoughts and prayers and recovery for Gia. So again, hashtag good luck, Gia. That's what it's all about. And like I said, we will continue to follow this journey. We'll continue to follow this journey. It's very, very simple. What I will do, okay, if you that QR code right there on the right hand side, what that does is that goes to a link tree page. That Linktree page is for Fighting for Overtime, which is my podcast, which will come up with everywhere the podcast is seen, social media, right? All the episodes. And then what I will do is I will get with Stitch. I will get with Gia's family. If they're selling shirts, if they're doing anything, what we will do is we will take whatever that information is, and I will put it directly on there. So when you visit the Linktree account, when you visit the show, that is going to be the first thing that you see. Okay. That will be a first thing that you see because it's very, very, very important. And again, if anybody out there is struggling, if anybody out there, with anything, if they want to tell a story, if they want to be heard, if they need to vent, right? If they need guidance, right? If they need support, again, that's what this is all about. Okay. This isn't Travis and Jason Kelsey on a podcast, talking about garage beer. This is a podcast that's made specifically for the youth sports community, mainly locally. Okay, mainly locally. It's growing nationally, but mainly locally. Next week, I got Coach Mike on, Coach Mike McDonald, the heralded coach from Archbishop Wood girls basketball. He can't wait to come on. Okay, he's going to be my October 9th. Mark it down, October 9th, Coach Mike. I can't wait to get Coach Mike on. Okay. I love having the people on because they're telling you things that one of two things. They're telling you things that you may not, you either have known and nobody talked about, or also they're talking about things that nobody wants to talk about. Which unfortunately you have to talk. Listen, it just eats you up. You got to talk about it, right? You got to talk about it. Amy checking in. And our good luck, Gia says she played her heart out every second she was on the field. She's a fighter for sure. We're going to miss her the rest of the season. Amy, thanks for checking in. As always, I appreciate it. And like again, I loved, can see you with the comments. I don't know Gia. I will say that I don't know. I look forward to meeting Gia. I don't know Gia. Okay. It was given to me, obviously, by a supporter. Was the story was supporter. You see Stitch in the comments. Good luck, Gia. Him and his staff did a wonderful job coming together and giving support on a whim, right? And I'm sure there's going to be continued support, like as he said. I'm sure there'll be donations. I'm sure there'll be t-shirts or bracelets or whatever it is. And again, I'm all for it. Like I'm in. Like just sign me up. Sign me up right now. And whatever I could do to continue to help the efforts, I will continue to do it. For all my episodes going forward, I will continue to use the hashtag good luck Gia for sure, because that's what we need to do. The more we say it, the more you have to think of the hashtag good luck Gia as a prayer. So every time we say good luck Gia, okay, we're sending prayers. That's the way you have to think about that. So again, whether you're a Fighting for Overtime podcast supporter, whether you're a Tony Cotillo show supporter, whether you're alternative edge supporter. Yeah, I know I'm in everything. I can't help it, right? But wherever you're at, wherever you're supporting me, okay, remember you're going to support Gia as well. So, like I said, I cannot wait to hear how well everything had gone. I cannot wait to watch her recover. And again, I cannot wait to have her on this screen with the open invitation that we can have a conversation about what made her so tough and what made her so resilient, right? And what made her just, like the biggest thing I said earlier, if you missed it, was when I read to me what was given. And I think the most important thing that I read was she was like, you would have never even known it, right? This is the kid that's not asking, for pity. This is a kid that's not saying, man, just give me that extra edge because of what I'm going through. Nah, man. She just wants to be one of the girls, right? She just wants to be one of the girls. That's all she wants to do is be one of the girls. And obviously from the pictures that I see, that's what she wants to do. And that's what she's going to do. Right? That's what she's going to do. Listen, I have a soft spot for softball. I'm gonna be honest with you, I really do. And I mean that entirely. I coached softball for a number of years locally in the community. Southampton, Warminster, Northampton. My daughter's 25 years old, was a catcher, was a first baseman. I coached her ever since she was 8 years old. The tremendous relationships that I have with the girls still to this day as they're grown adult women, right? Mackenzie Marino, who I had on there, is sitting there as a kick-ass realtor. It was one of my first episodes that I get to watch grow and grow every day, right? I mean, these are the kind of relationships. Again, let's thoughts and prayers shout out to Brianna Kennedy, who unfortunately passed away. Was one of my girls, man. She was awesome. She unfortunately passed away this year. Again in her sleep. Who would have known? So I get it, man. I have a soft spot when it comes to softball. I love my soccer boys. They're my dogs. I say it all the time. I coach soccer too. I mean, I just got a text today about, hey, coach, can you write me a letter of recommendation for a school I want to attend? Absolutely, I love to do it. Right, but again, I get to watch these kids grow up and play, and I get it, and the ones that make it so enjoyable, and it sounds like obviously Gia was one of those ones, right? She was one of those ones that made it that enjoyable, and she's going to continue to make it enjoyable once she recovers. Jamie Ain checking in says, "Good, exactly. Good luck, Gia." It's all about good luck, Gia, man. That every time we say good luck, Gia, whether it be hashtag good luck, Gia, whether it be good luck, Gia, that is a prayer that we're sending out to Gia, right? That is a prayer that we're sending out to Gia. I watch stories every day that are sent to me about whether it be good stories or bad stories. Unfortunately, a lot of negativity, a lot of bad stories. When I start this, a lot of this was a self reflection of me, meaning what I dealt with as a coach, and what I dealt with the local high schools, what I dealt with the local some of the local coaches and local parents, and it's unfortunate. It really is. Um, but at the end of the day, I've always said, you know, it's all about the kids, man. Like I don't care. You know how many parents I battle with, right? You know how many parents I battle with that couldn't stand me, right? I was the loudmouth guy. I was the guy yelled too much. I was the guy. Oh, I would never want him as a coach, right? Man, were they dead wrong? Man, were they dead right? They didn't know who I was. They didn't know who I was. They had no idea of the relationship that I had and I still have to this day with these kids. And that's what I understand when something like this happens. It's devastating, right? It's devastating, not that what's happening, but to hear, right? It's that, and then it's shocking. Like, wait a minute, we didn't even know. Like this kid was like, and I say this all the time. I hear people complain every day about dumb shit. They complain about dumb shit every day. Like honestly, like stop. Like every time that you think about dumb shit that you complain about, think about kids like Gia, what they're going to go through. Think about kids like Dylan and Sean and Nate that they went through and now have recovered. Okay. That I have personal impacts with, personal connections with. Okay. Personal connections with. Because and that's that. I will say this. That's what's great about social media when you use it the right way. When social media is used the right way, it is a beautiful thing because guess what? I got to follow Nate's journey. I got to follow Sean's journey. I got to follow Dylan's journey. Like I followed them all, man. Working out in the weight room, learning how to walk again, learning how, and then all of a sudden looking at everything's good, seeing when he was up for his scans and wishing him good luck. We're on the road again hoping to get good news, right? Like you're involved now and you're invested. And again, if it wasn't for social media, you wouldn't be able to do it. Yeah, social media has its bad side too. I get it, right? I understand it. But unfortunately, everything in this world has a bad side. Everything, right? Everything. Like you sports, obviously, we talk about has a bad side. But there's moments like this where you throw that shit to the side and let's just focus on the good moments. Let's focus on the good moments. So, in closing, again, uh, this is all about local 13-year-old girl Gia, who's going in for brain surgery tomorrow, October 3rd. If you're watching this on replay, the story is obviously in the description. The link to follow her journey from Bucks County, the Bucks County girls softball page. Make sure it's right there on the screen. Okay, Facebook. You can just type in BCGSL. Get on it. You'll see the pictures. Of Gia. She's smiling right on there. Right, and then we can continue to stay involved and stay abreast of everything that's going on. Right. Hopefully we can get an update. I'm sure we'll get an update tomorrow about how the surgery went, that she'll be in recovery, right? And I'm sure, listen, whether it's cards while she's in recovery we need to send, whether it's shout outs on here that we need to send, whatever we need to do to keep Gia smiling, that's what we're going to do. So, as always, everybody, I appreciate it. Again, I want to come on. This was a special request. This isn't a podcast. This is just, a special live for prayers needed for a local softball girl. Yes, Gina, please, Gina. You know what? Seems like, yes, Gina, if you could continue to keep me updated, I would greatly appreciate it. If you want to follow me or friend me on Facebook, I see that's where your comment from. So all good. We'll go back and forth. Keep me abreast of anything that's going on. Anything, if you need to get the word about anything, because I will tell you this, Gina, I don't say this because I want to, but I run my own PR marketing company. I have a lot of connections when it comes to the media, meaning good connections that I talk to and I know. So if maybe we need to get the word out, I will give you everything I have to continue to get the word out for Gia and make sure that we do whatever we can to help her in her recovery. So as always, everybody, like I always say, continue to bring the stories. Follow Fighting for Overtime, the podcast. Right there, you can scan the QR code with your phone, or you could just go to Fighting for Overtime. And again, it's everywhere, wherever you get your podcast from. And again, what we do is I have guests, I have self-reflection episodes, and obviously we do special episodes like this as well. So keep that hashtag going. Good luck, Gia, Gina, Jamie, Amy, Vegas, Stitch, everybody checking in greatly, and Gail greatly checking in. I appreciate it. I know Gia appreciates it. And everybody, as always, stay safe, stay healthy. We'll catch you back here next time. And for one more prayer, good luck, Gia. Fighting for Overtime is a Rise and React media production. If you're looking to start a podcast, if you're looking to get some direction, hit us up, let us know. We'll help you out there as well. Again, for everybody, enjoy your time, memories and moments, and keep fighting that fight. Continue to fight in overtime to make your kid have the best experience that they can have when it comes to playing youth sports.